The reason the majority of racists in this country are white males from low-income brackets with low educations, simply put, is that they're pissed off because they couldn't win a race that was literally rigged in their fucking favor, all because they were born straight white males. And if they don't have somebody to blame, eventually they'd have to admit the son of a bitch responsible for most of their fucking problems stares back at them in the mirror every morning. But they'll spend more time obsessing over immigrants, blacks, gays, and DEI than they ever have trying to improve their own fucking lives. I mean, an immigrant didn't blow your paycheck at the bar. A gay couple didn't get your truck repoed. A trans kid didn't make you drop out of high school. A black family didn't keep you from learning a trade, showing up to work, and acting like a decent human being. You did that shit by yourself. So when you're standing there screaming that everybody else is getting special treatment, maybe ask yourself why you're getting fucking lapped by people who had to climb over fences that you never even saw. I mean, you see, racism isn't strength. It's what insecure people wrap themselves in when they don't have accomplishments to brag about. And homophobia isn't toughness. It's fear wearing fucking work boots. And all that DEI whining, it's just another way of saying I'm scared to compete when everybody else finally gets a fair shot. I mean, the fucking hard truth is, if your identity depends upon somebody else staying beneath you, you never stood very fucking tall to begin with. Quit blaming minorities for your misery. Quit blaming LGBTQ plus folks because your life's a fucking train wreck. Quit looking for scapegoats every goddamn election cycle. Just grab a fucking mirror, because that reflection has cost you more opportunities than every immigrant, every pride parade, every DEI program, and every person of color combined.
So the brown-eyed, dark-haired white people, right? Come to the front. How does it feel to know that you're still not going to be picked?
So we are now using a Nazi pseudo-scientific idea to try to shame regular brown-eyed, dark-haired white people in America in 2026. That doesn't make them feel unpicked. It just makes you sound like you bought into Hitler's beauty standard more than they ever did. Even the Nazi couldn't stick to their own definition. Many Germans had brown hair and brown eyes. The stereotypical blonde-haired, blue-eyed appearance they promoted was never representative of most Germans. The so-called Aryan race was Nazi propaganda, not real science. Brown-eyed, dark-haired, white people aren't sitting around feeling left out because they don't match a Nazi-created fantasy. This little dig at them just makes you look stupid.
It is so hard describing to other people what it's like to grow up in a really toxic white family when you're mixed. And the fact that I felt adopted my whole entire life. Like, my family are the type of people who grew up saying the M-word and grew up thinking that black people should be segregated against, white people, and that we belong in certain areas and all this different shit. But it's like, it's so weird when you get placed in that family, because I don't think they ever in their life thought my mom would get with a black man, and she did. And at that, I was also a mistake. Like, I wasn't meant to happen. I was a one-night stand, and then boom, I was born. And it's like they've never cared to get to know what the black experience, what the black experience is like, or who I am as a human being. Like, all they know is their ignorance, and I've always been the black sheep of the family and treated differently. And a great example is for my 20th birthday, my grandma gave me a fucking DNA test. That was my birthday gift. And I don't even talk to her. I don't even speak with her. And she knows I don't like her, and she still went out of her way to send me some shit like that. And they are so goddamn ignorant, and they don't care about anyone but themselves, and they're so fucking selfish. They are so, at least with my family. Every family is different. Not all white people are like that, blah, 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 blah. But my family is. And it's so hard to deal with and so hard to explain to other people, because race doesn't matter in a lot of families. It's everyone's kind of the same race. And then with me, I'm black. So it's too fucking much for them. I don't know.
I experienced racism in Kenya, and it's something that still amazes me until this day. So if you know me, I don't live in Nairobi. I live in a small town in Kenya. Maybe you can guess which one. There's a huge prison that's over there, and this prison has a club or a bar and a grill, and basically it's very cheap. It's kind of tax-free. I was taken there by my friends and family, and as we were sitting down, I was the last one to join, and I had just come from home. and people had already ordered all their drinks, and then I was the last one to order my drink. So I ordered, and whatever, we waited for the waiter. Then the waiter brought like all the drinks, and then I asked, hey, where's mine? And he's like, you have to go and pay in front first. So I'm like, what? But everybody else got served, and she was just like, you go pay first. I'm like, what? Okay. So me, I'm of course, and they're like, where's your manager? Mind you, we're in a local, so there's nothing like a manager there. Just people who are not trained in serving people well. So I go in front to like a grill where they sell like cheap drinks like Chrome, KC, County, whatever people are drinking there. And then I'm telling that lady, your waiter has refused to serve me. And then that waiter comes from behind for me again, and he's like, yeah, you go pay first. So I'm asking her, do I look like someone who will run away and not pay their drink? Why did you serve all my friends but me, I'm not being served? So I thought it's because of me being light-skinned that I will not be served, but because all my Kenyan friends and cousins, why were they all being served? Why was I being treated differently? I've never been there. I have no bad experience there. Maybe somebody can explain to me why somebody would pick me out and decide this girl is the only girl at the table that will have to pay for a drink before she gets it. Please make it make sense to me. But the most stupidest thing of me to do was to ask for the manager because I was in a local. What was I even thinking? Either way, I just paid for the drink, argued with the lady, told her that she's horrible at her job. And that was so offensive to me. I was like, do I look like I can't pay for my drink?
You use the N-word freely amongst friends, in music and online. But when someone outside your circle repeats it, suddenly it's unacceptable. You can't go around calling yourself a thug and then act shocked or offended when someone else calls you that too. I genuinely don't understand the logic behind it. The same goes for proudly calling yourself a bitch or bad bitch, but then crying disrespect when someone uses the same term toward you. You refer to your environment as the hood, says things like, I am from the trenches, with pride, yet feel insulted when someone states that you come from a rough neighborhood. You can't glorify these labels and then expect people not to associate you with them. This double standard isn't empowerment, it is inconsistency. If you want respect, you have to start with how you present and define yourself. Don't hand the world a script and then get offended when they read from it.
The short, ugly British African David Johnson that Hollywood has been trying to force on us for the past few years is going to be the new Black Panther. I hate this. Will not be watching it. Number one, because I am so tired of British Africans taking black roles in Hollywood.
The fact that a lot of British actors are getting Hollywood roles now is hurting the Americans. It's not our fault we have so much talent here. Black Panther is even an African movie. Have you heard an American try to put on an African accent? It doesn't sound pleasant. Coming to America 2 was an African movie played by Americans. Did you hear their accents? It was horrible, hard to watch. Because he has talent and he got a big role is the reason why you're insulting him. Have you not seen yourself? You were probably the big fish that swallowed Jonah. American actors are very good with American roles. They can't switch accents, not like British actors. British actors can switch to any accent. There are British actors that are very good with accents that sometimes you wouldn't even know that they're British. Idris Elba, Daniel Kaluuya, Damson Idris, John Boyega. Those are only a few of them. If you're so bothered and hurt, then tell your people to come to the UK for acting school then.
We don't want this man as our new king, Black Panther. Listen, I for one don't care who people date, but the Black Panther means so much to our culture and represents so much within our culture. The way the actor who plays the Black Panther behaves in his real life matters. We don't need a man who prefers the snow bunnies.
There are so many things wrong with what you said. I don't know if anyone has told you. Black Panther is a fictional character. He does not exist. He never existed. Wakanda is a fictional place. Okay? It doesn't exist. It never existed. This man is playing a fictional character. Also, you want to talk about black culture. Black Panther was created by two white guys, Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. These are them. These are the two that created Black Panther. Another thing, how do you know that this man is dating this woman? His dating life is not publicly available. He hasn't made who he is dating public. So how do you know that these two are even in a relationship? This could be an assistant or something. I don't know. Celebrities always have people around them. So this person that's in these pictures could be anyone. I don't even sense any chemistry between these two. You know what I mean? Like, you're just jumping to conclusions. And even if they were dating, or he is dating a white person, who cares? It doesn't take away from Black Panther as a character. So yeah, I don't know what you gotta do, but yeah, just don't make a take like this again. It's very bad.